It's showtime.
Good morning, Vietnam! Welcome to the party, pal!
See you at the party, Richter. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Get away from her, you bitch!
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
You did not going to say that, did you?
What I do have are a very particular set of skills.
To do the binds.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Inconceivable!
Little Dallas multipass.
This is a tasty burger.
Face.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I'm the bad guy?
And Hulk, smash.
I can speak with an English accent. Hit the hash pipe and join the National Guard. I could be elected president.
You went over my helmet?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex? I know, right?
The list is in the open!
Hey, where are the white women at?
They're digging in the wrong place.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Are you not entertained?
Second start of the ride. And straight on till morning.
Meow.
You son of a bitch.
1.21 gigawatts!
Wax on, wax off.
Oh my goodness, I am sporting a tremendous woody right now.
Bartender is the aristocrat of the working class.
You want to flip 6 3-hole play and you could score.
Cover me.
Dogs and cats living together, fastest terrier.
On this team, we fight for that itch.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
No ticket.
No ticket.
I get older, they stay the same age.
It's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. He's 15.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies.
Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing, bud?
Pretty tired. What is the Reel McCoy, you might ask? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie, you watch it, come back to us, and we break it down for you, and we spin it all around this month, the birthday month of Mr. Oh My Feelings. Happy birthday, sir. You've officially made it through another circle around the sun.
Yes, I would say getting old. Don't recommend it. 0 out of 10.
Yes, correct. And in your birthday month, we decided that we will treat ourselves with a few movies that we've talked about over the past almost 4 years, and we never got around to actually talk to them.
Correct.
We started off with the Korean Old Boy, switched over and did A Scanner Darkly. We had great responses about on that. The review did tremendously well, which coupled with people actually going to actually watch the deep dive. Yeah, it's when it happens, it happens. It's really surprising. A Scanner Darkly, 1.7K views. The Terminator, 60 views. I love you, YouTube. Love you. It's the best. It's the best.
To be fair, Terminator's pretty cut and dry. You don't really need someone to explain Terminator to you.
You'll be surprised. But we did mention this last week. Scanner Darkly kind of flows into the movie we're talking about today, which is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And we kind of have a sort of a surprise guest, Mr. Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. How are you,
I'm
sir?
here? Wait a minute. I'm actually here. I thought I was just watching the show. Oh,
We
shit.
kind of are. We have Gary for a little bit until he actually vamooses and goes out and does his show, which is Hudson Hawk today on your show. Yep. But Gary,
all
you
the best of
told
luck.
us.
Just a side note. I'm so sorry, Gary. Please have a better
he
night.
loves the movie.
It's a cult classic. And the reason why is because people that watched it misunderstood what they were watching for the most part. I
still think it's awful.
You won't.
Well, as an actual screenwriter that went to school for screenwriting, it's actually fucking funny. So
I keep telling him that, but he doesn't believe me. And he's like the bigger cinephile than me. And it's not even a joke. All right, Gary, you told us this backstage, but I want you to like retell the story. Where you kind of first time you met Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Well, the film actually came out in 2005, and I'd never heard of it. And, you know, I'm a cinephile, and I'm always watching for new movies. And my daughter and I moved to a new apartment in 2007. And I went immediately, got to find my local video store. And I had two. I had Family Video, and I had a Blockbuster right down the street. So if one didn't have what I was looking for, I'd go across the street and look, see if they had it. But when I was at Blockbuster, I looked up and I saw this movie, and there was like just a stack of them, 4 rows up. I guess close to about 10 copies of the movie.
All right.
I'm like, what is this? And I pick it up and I'm looking at it. I'm like, never heard of this movie, but I look who's in it and I look who wrote it. I'm like, and directed it, Shane Black. And I'm a big Shane Black fan.
Yeah.
I love his writing. And all of a sudden I'm like, I've got to rent this. So I rented it and took it home, and my best friend came over and we watched it. And I'm like, this is one of the best damn things I've ever seen. And it's an indie film. It's independently produced by Joel Silver. And
we'll get into production stuff. Yeah.
We'll get into that.
So
that's a very funny story.
Just amazing. And the whole story of, you know, how it came about. But the thing is, I talked to a bunch of people. We'd never heard of this film before. So even though it came out in 2005, it didn't show up in Blockbuster until 2007 when I moved there. They were brand new. It was a brand new release there.
Yeah.
So,
all right, cool. To start deep diving in. Oh, before we deep diving in, we'll say hello to Mr. Biffer. We'll say hello to Anima Confusia, and we'll say hello to Sander Hammerschlag. And anybody who is joining us from the Salty Nerd podcast that kind of jumped over, you haven't rated, but you kind of have rated. Afternoon, Juliet. I see you. I see you in the chat. Here you are. There we go. Welcome, everybody. All the lurkers, all the people on X. Welcome, everybody. Let's start the show where we started every single week with this.
Sound production, take 2.
Behind the screens is where we turn to all my feelings and get the lowdown on everything behind the scenes, script, production. Take it away, dude.
It's going to be a very interesting one. So, first off,
let it rip.
Shane Black received a rejection letter from the Academy for A Long Kiss Goodnight. And once he received that letter, he took it to heart, where he decided, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going to go ahead and make a film that I want to make. So he wanted to make something that was more in the action genre. And at first, he was looking in toward a neo-noir kind of film, and he leaned on a very prolific comedy writer by the name of Mr. James L. Brooks.
Yep.
And James L. Brooks liked the first draft, but told Black that the script meandered too much. It lost focus at the end. And he didn't really, there was no really like cohesive kind of really good narrative at the end. And it was supposed to be kind of a buddy cop in the same vein of Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2, but it didn't have that kind of, they didn't gel. The characters didn't gel so much.
Mm-hmm.
So during the first parts of rewrites, one of his first things that he actually drew heavily on Brett Halliday's Bodies Are Where You Find Them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Written in 1941.
Correct. And it's also, if you notice too, this and also how all of the actual individual segments are completely segmented off of the days. Mm-hmm. They're all based off of Ray Chandler novels.
Yeah, each one of them is named after a novel name of Ray Chandler.
And you should point out that it's not based on the book. The crime is the only thing out of the book.
Correct.
The characters were kind of his Shane's original creation, especially Gay Perry.
Yeah.
Yes, which I wanted to add that. That's a very good note there, is that he wanted to actually make Perry an attempt to break the again, even at the time of the creation and filming was at like the early 2004 to mid 2004. They still had the overbearing gay stereotype where there couldn't be an action lead or a very strong homosexual male protagonist in a film without there being some kind of downside to it. And no, Perry is supposed to be the complete opposite of that. And he was supposed to be, he wanted him to be the kick-ass gay guy.
Yeah, I think he mentioned something about the action hero who bursts through the door and plays it straight, but he's not really straight.
Straight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's the gay straight guy.
Yeah. Well, that also, by the way, no. I get tons of pussy. I just like the nickname.
Which is such a funny line out of nowhere.
It's so
all of his quips. Like, did you say talking monkey? Yes, talking monkey. Strangely, he only says ficus.
Yeah.
He came from the future, but all he could say was ficus.
Yes.
Yes. Sandra got the other one too. No, the definition of the word idiot, which is you.
he is, yeah, I know. A picture of me? No.
No.
It's reconciliation. What the fuck are you from?
Oh my God.
Where did you learn math?
Yes, I was embarrassed. It's 1/12. What? Would you stop multiplying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
my God,
it's a funny movie.
There's going to be a whole bunch. Sorry, Jay, you have to leave a little bit early because we're going to just be quoting this throughout the entire review
probably
coming up. But,
I won't be quoting it, but I don't remember a thing. I remember the jokes. I remember where it was. I will not be able to remember the exact quote, and I'm sorry in advance.
No,
and I watched it 6 hours ago.
Yeah. So what was interesting is originally it was titled "You'll Never Die in This Town Again."
Yeah.
I like that one too.
Yeah, and it's
that
more
was actually
reminiscent.
Flatly rejected by Joel Silver.
Joel Silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
For being too long.
So it was actually then changed to LAPI, which got changed later to Bang Bang, which got changed to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is an homage to what they did actually to describe spy films and kind of noir films overseas. They would call them Kiss Kiss Bang Bangs.
Because he had the spy thriller, but also
the romantic interest.
So basically, James Bond is a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang movie.
Yeah. Okay. But if you notice at LAPI, he actually mentions that Harry.
Yep.
It's written in the script, so it's great. But we were talking backstage about casting. So one of the interesting things is Benicio del Toro and Hugh Grant were initially considered for the first kind of duo. Yeah. Then they kind of dropped out, and then again, the funniest one has to be Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, I saw that, and I did not. I thought it was a mistake.
That was such an odd pick. Yeah.
No, because
Harrison Ford was also considered in the film, which would have changed the film entirely, because then it would have gotten a bigger budget.
What's super interesting too is Warner Brothers said that they would triple the budget if they put Ford in one of the roles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe Gay Perry.
I would have put him in
I know.
The old,
he wasn't up for Gay
the
Perry.
old actor. I would have had him for the old actor that Corbin Burnson played.
Actually, no, he was supposed to play Gay Perry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw his name, but I thought he was initially up for the role of the Downey Jr. role, and I was like, "Oh, that would never fit at all."
That would have no. He would not play a good Harry Lockhart.
No, but he could have done a great Gay Perry. He could have.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they didn't go that route because Val Kilmer just killed this. And what's fantastic too about that is Well, the obviously you have the opening scene at the house. That's based off of what Shane Black would actually do at the time, because he would actually host parties like that at his home.
The LA
all
party.
of the time. Yeah.
Oh,
all.
okay.
In fact, when Val Kilmer, before he decided to sign on, he had read for the role of Gay Perry, and he found it really interesting, and he wanted to play a comedic role. Anyway, we're going to get to how we got the script in a moment. But he actually met Robert Downey Jr. at that party.
At the Shane Black party?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
cool.
Afterward, a day later, they found out that they were actually going to be on the same film together, and they were both excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah. And just as another thing too, showing that like we gave Val Kilmer a whole bunch of shit for everything that happened on the island of Dr. Moreau, because wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that was a story and a half. He's been let's say rejuvenated since then.
I will just say he did the utmost to redeem himself in my eyes, especially in this, because he actually refused to drink at all on set to stay in solidarity with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and this is before, a lot of people don't realize that this is before he had even gotten the role, because that was a discussion that happened early. In fact, when you see them in a lot of the interviews, you'll notice he's already sporting the Iron Man look, but there still hadn't even been an announcement then.
Yep, correct.
Yep.
So he had to keep it quiet. But it's because of this film that he got picked to play Iron Man.
Yeah.
It was this and
Jon Favreau watched the movie, liked Downey in it, and he offered him the role.
Yep. This and also the film that we reviewed last week.
Yes.
Because Favreau also liked The Scanner Darkly as well.
Well, technically, Scanner Darkly he did in 2004. Remember?
Yeah.
They filmed 2004, but it came out after this movie.
Yeah, and it didn't hit Blockbuster until 2007.
Yeah.
That's when, because it was a new release there. But you brought up something earlier too, and I wanted to say James L. Brooks also said this really cool thing where he said what you need to do is take the character of Jack Nicholson from As Good as It Gets.
Yep, exactly. Yep,
and put that as the detective or the main character.
We're making basically making him a mix of that character mixed with Nicholson and Chinatown.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, weird. I had to recheck that. I had to recheck that too, where he said, put the Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets as the role in replacing Jack Nicholson in Chinatown specifically. And I was like, I see where he went there.
Talk like that. Some Panamanian sailor won a hump bar. Where's his last day at the boss's whiskey? Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stopped up here. Absolutely one of my favorite films and the most quotable role that Nicholson ever played.
I agree.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Well, we did that.
Yeah, we had a
your
lot.
birthday month last year. Yeah,
it's
a great film. So, speaking of Mr. Robert Downey Jr., I know we both know this, but for everyone else, a lot of interest slowed down in his career after his kind of went to prison. And this, I love this the fact that Shane Black gave him authorization to mock him in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did. It was very subtle, though. I expected something more outlandish,
but it was very on the nose. Well, in RDJ's case, sometimes up the nose, but
not at that point of time.
No.
But the thing is, he got the script because Susan Levine, his future wife, was Joel Silver's assistant.
Yeah.
So you kind of had that nepotism thing going, but that's Hollywood.
Well, also too, given the fact that his star was his power in Hollywood was very low, they could actually fit him in the budget very cheaply. and he could still remain kind of creative control over it. So Black could have creative control, and the only person who actually was going to oversee it, because Warner Brothers like, fine, you know what, we're just going to let you oversee this whole project, Silver. So Jane Black would only have to go to Joel Silver to get any kind of authorization for anything at all. And they were already best buds when it came to this. So that's why a lot of things that they got away with, especially I have to give a lot to Michelle Monaghan, because a lot of the nude scenes weren't actually in the original script.
Okay.
Yeah, when she actually
off the cuff,
like when she strips down, wearing the little like sexy Santa outfit,
the red number.
Yes. She was supposed to be wearing like a slip or at least a bra underneath. No. Moynihan said, "That's not who Harmony is. That's not her character."
Yeah, she's a slut. Sorry.
For lack of a better term, and that comes up later too.
She's a slut. Bang.
But so we
continue,
got that.
please.
So to get the kind of neo-noir look, Black had multiple screenings at his home of 60s classics, neo-noir.
Yeah, sweet.
For sort of films, especially for the cinematographer who was Michael Barrett. One of those I know you'll love so much because it's one of the John Cusack films that you like. Is a retelling of the story, just a modern twist with a different angle.
What, Grosse Point Blank?
Blank? Yeah, this actually was
cool.
was just Point Blank. Yeah.
yeah.
And Harper.
Wait,
as well.
Point Blank with Angie Dickinson? No. Point Blank, Gary.
No.
Are you
with us?
The movie Point Blank or the movie Grosse Point Blank?
Movie Point Blank.
That is Lee Marvin and Angie Dickinson. Yeah.
See, I told you.
Wow,
I learned that last night by being on the show and not talking about the movie.
Good job, buddy.
Continue, please, if you have more.
Production designer Aaron Osborne took inspiration from all of, especially everything that was actually in the noir kind of category, to actually contact Robert McGinnis, who did a lot of illustrations for classic kind of cover arts for noir novels. So all of those noir covers that for all of the Johnny Gossamer novels, he made those specifically for the film.
Oh, that's really cool. I was, because they showed quite a lot of those while I think Harmony was riff-raffing through them. And I was like, they either found these and like, because Johnny Gossamer is like it's a fake name.
Yep.
But either they got those and then slapped on a different, title and stuff, or they had those made. That means somebody had to do at least 12 covers?
Yep. Robert McGinnis did all of them.
That's insane. That's really good. That's really, really good. I mean, today you just slap on an AI stuff and just do it.
You would think.
Yeah, that's Hollywood, dude.
So
yes.
All the other notes are kind of interspersed from there. So I know.
Cool.
Gary has a very, very limited amount of time. So
yeah, that's fine. All right.
Definitely want to get the first page out for him.
Before I go, there's one thing that I don't know if either of you know this.
Mm-hmm.
That the end song that's played over the credits. Do you know?
That's Robert Downey Jr. He wrote and
I bought that album.
By
the way, because I love that album, The Futurist by RDJ, and they paid to use that song from his album.
Yep.
And it's a perfect song. He wrote the song and he sang it, called Broken.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful song, dude, about being broken.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that's his voice. First time I heard it, I'm like, who the fuck is that? And somebody sent me a link to listen to the song, and I do, and then I go look it up and found the song, and there it is. Here, I just put it in our private chat too, even though I wouldn't play that.
No,
I can't really play that, but yeah.
Edifice.
What's interesting too is that too. you would think that a song that was like that's being played, I could just I don't know why, for some odd reason, the first time I heard it, I'm like, am I watching a David Lynch film? Because it sounds like something that we played at the end of a David Lynch film.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to point out, though, if you've never heard his album, it's called The Futurist by Robert Downey Jr. It's available on Amazon. I bought that like way back in 07. I couldn't believe that song was so freaking good. And I enjoyed the whole album.
And to Gary's point, it's not like a Bruce Willis album. It's actually good.
It's
very good.
You mean it's not a Bruno? Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Don't get me wrong, Bruno, because I like Bruce Willis's voice.
Okay.
Especially when he does blues and jazz. He's really good at scat. And he came up, as a bartender, and that's how he ended up working towards film, is because he became friends with the pianist that played in his bar. Yep. And in fact, they wrote the movie.
They wrote Hudson Hawk together.
Hudson Hawk. Yeah.
Yep. All right. I showed the little snippet of that intro, and if you go into this movie and you're like, okay, Val Kilmer, Robert Downey Jr. Okay, let's watch this, and you get an intro like this, and it looks like a flashback. I don't know how it looked to anybody else. To me, because I kind of knew the movie, I thought on the rewatch, it is so obvious that the little girl inside the box is Harmony.
Harmony, yeah.
And the magician is Harry. And I kind of forgot, no, you're not supposed to know that it's actually him and they know each other until it gets revealed. So watching this first intro.
Don't forget he stumbles through the flashbacks. He goes, oh, wait, no. I need to go further back.
Right.
I went too far back. I need to go forward.
I love that opening.
Unreliable narrator.
Gary, you nailed it. And we talk about Meph and I have talked about this so much, about the fact that, like, typically we've dealt with a lot of films where there is an unreliable narrator, but Harry himself admits that he is completely the most unreliable narrator.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I think I said it, not maybe here, I wrote it in the script. You'll see it on Monday. Sort of the movie is filled with a lot of these double entendres, funny puns, and a lot of fourth wall breaking without actually breaking the fourth wall, because they don't address the audience.
They do at the end.
Yeah. Within the movie, they don't really address the audience, but they kind of talk to each other as if they are talking to the audience, because it's a lot of film breaking. And you have that moment in the end where you hear Harry talking about, oh, don't worry about this epilogue. It's fine. I've seen Return of the King. This is just a one and done.
Lord of the Rings.
Don't worry.
I was waiting to get to that point, but I'm glad Jerry was over there. This is like, no, this is not. I've seen Lord of the Rings, the extended cut. We're not going to have 18 different endings. It's just
he just puts the audience at ease, and that's the only kind of fourth wall breaking. But
there are several. There's one where he does the tie back into where he talks about, well, we have to go back to the story. Hey, by the way, extras, get out of the way.
Yes,
and
exactly.
The two people that are in camera move, and then also at the end too, like, yeah, I know it's weird. They all survived. Hey, guess what? Everybody. He starts, all of the people brought in, like Mia comes in, Mr. Fire.
He sees all the different characters, that actually died.
Abe Lincoln comes in.
Abe Lincoln comes in, and that's when I lost
people out. There's Fat Elvis at the end, poking his head.
Great. But I do love it. Kind of flows from the flashback and the story into a very James Bond kind of opening, and this is why I said, well, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is really it's a James Bond movie. But it's not really a James Bond movie because it's a detective noir rather than a spy noir. But the opening, except for the song, which doesn't really kind of say, oh, this is a makeshift Bond movie. It's very much of that slow, jazzy, kind of bluesy opening rather than your typical Bond sonnet or whatever you want to call that movie. Yeah, Gary.
And I want to add in there that with the opening titles, it was done in the Saul Bass style, which I love because that's a great throwback to the 50s and 60s with Saul Bass's cool artwork.
Yep.
The women's silhouettes are very much of that like overpronounced hourglass blocky kind of a feel. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, it kind of, like I said, flows into this party where you get to know a little bit of Harry Lockhart. You get to get introduced to the movie producer, and I love that actor. He always does these character, side character that is he always like either the sort of a disciplinarian dad or this shady whatever producer or business guy.
Don't forget too, there's a huge nod in this to Sunset Boulevard with William Holden. In fact, that image you just showed was a nod to the pool scene, how that opens the movie.
Yeah. I'm talking about this guy.
Oh, he's hilarious, dude.
He's been in so many movies as a great character actor.
Yeah, Larry Miller was also a stand-up comedian.
Yep.
And he'd show up on David Letterman all the time and just slay me. He was so funny. Because he was like that in real life, very fast-witted and fast-talking. And so it's like that character he's playing in that is like a version of himself. Because he talks pretty much the same way Larry Miller does.
And when Harry Lockhart starts this pool thing, I have to go back and explain to you. And he goes into the fact that he's from New York, but he has to explain why he got to the party. And he goes to, Shane Black shows us this whole robbery scene where he kind of loses a friend.
Accomplice was, right, Meth?
Yeah, there's a neighbor that catches them and ends up shooting his friend.
Yeah.
And,
who's his accomplice?
In 4 scenes, and that's it.
Who?
Come on.
I don't know.
What Jump Street?
He's what in 21 Jump Street?
Richard Grieco.
That's Richard Grieco?
Yeah.
What happened to his face?
They kept him only for this specific shot. They kept him for the first, the 4 scene bits only because he was actually supposed to have a larger role. And the fact that he was supposed to be, before this, initially, there was supposed to be a setup call about breaking into the toy shop where they were supposed to have a whole big bunch of new Xboxes coming in. That's why he mentions later on in the script, like, I steal. He mentions like all the heists and stuff that he did. Like, yeah, mostly small stuff. Like, I steal a lot of Xboxes, which came up later.
Yeah. Okay. He still doesn't look like Richard Grieco.
Yeah, I never knew that was him, dude. Never knew that. But it's getting close to my time to go.
Yeah, I know. I want you to get this shot where he kind of escapes the cops and he kind of ends up in this audition
and
without actually being in an audition
because his friend just died.
Yeah,
or he believes he's dead.
And the script calls for this exact kind of situation where it's a little bit different, but the dialogue fits within the story. So he's reacting to a real thing that just happened, and suddenly he is.
And I love the cop coming in is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Good luck."
The comedy in this is just so spot on.
So great.
I mean, the slightest beat off, man, it wouldn't have worked. And the timing of everything in this is perfect.
That's I think, Jerry, you nailed it. I think that's why this script works so well, is because there is almost no time to breathe. And I think if you were to give this film time to breathe, it would all fall apart.
Fall apart, yeah. And again, another thing that was such a plus for this is my buddy Mac and I watched this movie together. He's one of my best friends, and both of us have had a huge crush on Michelle Monaghan. She is just so fucking beautiful.
She's
I'm not going to say hot. She's fucking beautiful.
I'm going to say she did nothing for me in this movie.
Well, she's kind of a bad person in ways.
She is beautiful.
Flighty, but other films she's in, she's much better. But I like her as a person too, because I've seen her in private situations where she's interacting with people. Just down to earth, very basic person. And I've always liked actors like that. But yeah, I had a huge crush on her back in the 2000s, dude. It was ridiculous.
Cool. I will flow right into.
I know, despite everybody thinks I'm gay. I do have crushes on girls. Here, proof again. I'm gay. There you go.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that Avatar. So what Harry is trying to explain to us here is basically how did Harmony get to this party, because he explained about himself. Now he explains about Harmony, and it starts off rather, we'll call it innocently, as she kind of fell in love with the Johnny Gossamer thing because she was reading it to her mom.
And just as a side note too, just before that as well, the introduction is like, well, about the robot. Then when he gets to the end, you're like, oh, roll that back. I forgot to mention about the story about the robot.
The unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
I love it throughout the film. Constantly screwing up the narration.
Which again, this is a lovely tie-in to, unfortunately, what happened to Mr. Robert Downey Jr.
I absolutely forgot at this point, because I haven't watched it in a while. I forgot that it wasn't Robert Downey Jr. in that suit, because I saw the suit and it was like, oh, that's right. It kind of ties in, and it's really funny that later on he became like Iron Man, but then the guy falls and dies, and it's not. Well,
actually, no. What you have to do is you actually have to keep the copy of the proto-cop doll, because now he's paralyzed.
Yes. Oh, paralyzed. That's right. Didn't die
from the fall. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, before he fell, for a few seconds I kind of misremembered, and I thought he was in that suit, which would make it funny because back in New York, he was stealing the suit, but then he fell, and I kind of remembered. Oh yeah, that's right. That's dumb.
Not the suit. He was stealing the doll for the
doll. He was stealing the doll back in NYC. But like I said, I misremembered that, and I thought this was him until he fell.
And this was the original actor that played the character, who lost his job and hasn't been able to get another job since he got fired.
Yep.
From doing his character, which is just so, typecasting is so bad in Hollywood, and producers are the ones who do it. Typecasting isn't something that happens accidentally.
Yeah.
And
God, she's
to be
so
fair,
beautiful. Look at that.
And I said she's beautiful, but she does nothing to me in terms of her character. Like, I didn't particularly like her character here, and
I get it.
And I thought any other actress of her, let's say, caliber, age, body characteristics would have done the same kind of job. The only thing that gives her maybe the edge is the wait. The only thing that kind of gives her the edge is she does have that comedic timing, which worked with Downey Jr.
Well, and Kilmer as well, because they play off each other very well. But Garrett, by the way, did you just say Shiksa? Did we just become best friends?
Yeah,
I said
Shiksa.
I think we did.
I said you don't like her because she's a Shiksa.
You have Gary. We talked about this. You have no idea.
Okay. Hey, I got to get going.
Yeah, no worries.
I do want to give one more thing about this, because at the scene when she slams the door in his face and then reopens it and he's holding his hand, she goes, "Did I just cut off your finger?"
Yes.
Is one of my favorite moments in the film. It's not this great quotable, but just the fact that she slammed that door and cut his fucking finger off slayed me that's in the story that way. I'm like, oh my God, this is like Parents with Tom Selleck, where it's kind of a comedy, but every single time he gets hurt, he stays hurt for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every injury amounts to another next injury. And I thought that was so brilliant, throwing something like that in here and keeping him having that problem throughout the movie.
One other thing before you go, just real quick, that I think you'll really find very interesting is, during the one shot where Harmony saves Perry during the first big shootout where Mr. Frying Pan gets killed.
Right.
Yeah. There was the take that they kept. If you look, Kilmer actually had to pull back for a second. I forgot that Perry was gay. Because he was about to kiss someone.
Yep.
Again,
I love that.
I wouldn't blame him.
That was Dash Mihawk that played Mr. Frying Pan, a very good actor.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's
now.
Another good character bit actor who's been in so many movies.
So many, dude. And he's good in everything he does. He was in the TV series Ray Donovan, playing his slow brother.
Right.
And he's so good in that role. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I didn't catch the last couple of seasons of Ray Donovan, but what I saw I liked a lot. Because didn't he end up he took over the boxing?
Yeah, the whole family ran the boxing thing together.
Yeah.
It was a family gig, and I like that. It's a great series. I hope we get one more movie because I just don't want that world to end, but I don't think we will.
I thought Liev Schreiber killed it. A lot of people
absolutely. That show wouldn't have worked. I don't think it would have worked with anybody else.
I don't think they can afford him anymore. But
yeah. But I'm going to get out
Gary,
of here, guys. Thanks for the invite, man.
No problem.
Take care.
One day you'll be here for the whole show, dude.
When my show cancels.
Well,
all right, guys. See you later.
See you later. Gary from Pop Culture Minefield, guys, go to their channel. They've been losing subs for no apparent reason. They're literally their views are going up and their subs are going down. I don't know how YouTube works, but yeah, guys, go check out Pop Culture Minefield, and we will redirect you to their show once this ends. But they will be in the middle because they don't know how YouTube works either. Anyway, boys and girls, I want to do. He kind of slips by without us doing the game, so we'll do the game right now. All right. This is Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters of movies, have their text written off. We display them, and you guys in the chat and Oh My Feelings will have to guess which movie this is. Here we go. We covered this movie, but I found a different poster of it. I kind of like this poster
That's
more.
actually a really good version of that. Yeah. Really good one. It blew Mef's mind.
It blew my mind. It wasn't the first time I watched this movie.
Hey, Griffin's got it already.
Griffin's got it. Paul's got it. It is Dark City, correct. I'm going to have to punch in a little bit. There we go. Biffer's got it. Sanders got it. Yeah. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
It is not Polar Express.
No, that's terrifyingly creepy, Uncanny Valley Tom Hanks.
That's my DVD cover. That's Keira Knightley, dude. Anna Karenina is correct, dude.
Yeah.
Paul's got it too.
Better.
This is a Kevin Smith movie.
People don't like this movie, and I actually enjoyed it.
It's fine. It wasn't terrible. Biffer shooting blanks. No, just kidding.
Cop out.
Cop out is correct. I hated this movie.
This movie was fucking awful. Oh,
this movie is just, I think it had Woody Harrelson in it at some point, but I don't remember.
Was it Jamie Foxx was in this one, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
That or am I conflating that with Horrible Bosses? It's a terrible.
Oh, Jamie Foxx is in Horrible Bosses
as well. Yeah, but yeah, it's just date night. Yeah.
Paul Harley's got it. It is date night. It's really terrible. However, this movie, I think we talked about it last week.
That's a fun one.
I hate that you missed when we covered this.
Yeah, I know.
That was really likes this movie.
That's Saf's favorite movie. So
I know.
It
is Hackers.
It's the start of the Riddick mythology.
Yeah, it's not Triple X. No, it's not Triple X.
I
think Sander is a little bit off, probably watching on a mobile phone or in TV because it has a bigger.
No,
it's not Blackout.
Paul
it's
and
Blackout.
Griffin got it.
Oh yeah. Paul's got it. Griffin's got it.
Black.
It is Pitch Black. Correct. It jumped on me.
Oh, we talked about this movie, and it's still like I'm sorry. I'm still a fan of Gerard Butler. I really am. But this movie was just the worst.
Yeah, it's not the Millers.
The Millers was a rehash of it was actually that was Jason Sudeikis was in The Millers. This is think of why he has cuffs on her. What is
exactly? If he had a blonde mullet, he would be called the dog. It is not the Duchess, no. It's not that funny because there is a similar movie with Gerard Butler and the blonde chick, and I think it's called The Duchess. It is The Bounty Hunter, correct.
Bounty Hunter,
Close enough. This came up a few weeks back. I think it's, for some reason, it's in here too, but I might have misremembered. It is not The Golden Child, although it kind of looks the same.
It does.
I think it's a Kurosawa movie, one of the last ones. The Last Emperor is correct. Not sure if it's a Kurosawa movie, so don't quote me on that. I love this movie. I know it's not good.
It's not good. The story is really sad because it's true.
I kind of quoted it this week when we signed the ceasefire thing. It was like, the Krakosia, the water's over, the water's over.
Yeah.
It is the terminal, correct. Last one.
Oh, the name is in the background.
No, it's not.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Pull a John Cena. Are you sure
it
about
is
that? Yeah.
Twister.
Fucking dummy.
I know the Twister is in the background, but it doesn't say Twister. So shut up.
I might as well just say Twister upside the actual tornado.
Well, shut up. All right. So, we kind of have to move forward. Otherwise, we'll be here till 2 a.m.
A little bit. The only thing I have to say is we do get a little bit of the kind of just the bit of what a good guy Harry is down deep, because with this, where he breaks up, basically this guy, he's gonna sexually assault a sleeping Harmony.
Beauty. Yeah.
And where he's like, listen,
you have to back off. Or we're gonna step outside.
It's past my bedtime.
Cut to he's getting his ass
just getting the shit beat out of him. he gets up and Perry comes up and he's like, one of these days I'm gonna have to learn how to fight.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I kind of half expected him to not do so well, but not get the shit kicked out of him. When I saw this for the very first time, I was like, I watched it with Mrs. Meth because she's the one where the movie started, and I remember this vividly. There was a playback button that we used to have on our cable thingy, which was brand new. So if you missed the first 10 minutes, you could have just start over and start from the start.
Oh, so it's like an old TiVo or DVR, yeah,
sort of, but it
at
wasn't
the very beginning, yeah.
It's not like today's streaming where you just go back 10 minutes and just start. It actually started with the movie beforehand. So the credits of the last movie, and then the commercials, and then the start of this one. So
what you're saying is you got the Israeli version of TiVo.
Sort of. It's so weird. But it wasn't a TiVo box. It was just a regular cable box.
But it's like, no, Bubba. You have to look.
Anyway, my wife was like, she was watching this 10 minutes in. She said to me, I was on the PC, obviously. She's like, drop the World of Warcraft. Come watch this movie. Because I did watch this around 2007, 2006-ish. And she's like, drop what you're doing. You're going to love this movie. And I sat down and we watched the whole thing. Absolutely loved it. But I did remember feeling that, yeah, he's not gonna do well, but not get the shit kicked out of him. But I love the fact that that's how it kind of flows into him watching her leave with the guy who was about to abuse her.
Then Harry talking to Perry, and they meet Harlan Dexter, who is the big bad, and the whole story, like, and the whole thing about his daughter, who is Mia wearing the wig. It's like, they called her a bad word, cunt.
and
you
would think
so sharply, and it's hilarious. Oh, Kilmer's
and you kind of led to be thinking, what? He called her a cunt and she sues him for millions? Sounds a bit off, but okay.
No, it was more of a dispute of who had proprietary, like, the ownership of when her mother died, of the actual will and what rights it would go to. So yeah, that's where it all comes back together. But anyway.
But the thing is, you get at that party, without noticing, you get a lot of these story beat breadcrumbs, and if you put it together, then that's great. But if you don't put it together and they put it together for you at the end, you're like, how did I miss that? They literally told you. And not only that, while they're discussing Johnny Gossamer at one point, all three of them sitting together, they're discussing a Johnny Gossamer story and how it kind of feels like it's not really the end, because at the end there's a big torture scene and you're like, oh my God, they're telling you what is going to happen.
Also, this movie is full of setup and payoffs. And in fact, like, he breaks the fourth wall saying, like, how much he hates the concept of setups and payoffs.
Yes. And I was like, you mother effer.
Like, this movie is
fantastic.
I love this movie so much. But
we're going to skip over the whole kind of half reveal. He goes to the bar
domino room, and that and also,
like, Perry sends him there. He goes to the domino room. They meet up, and before the friend kind of cock blocks him, he realizes that's Harmony from the flashback
Harmony
story,
who flat out just tells him, like, Harry, it's me. And yeah. Well, that also, like, they have the look-alike game story. So funny. The way that they did that was they just had random names in the script, and on set that day they just picked extras.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. So they.
And Sander Hammerslag said one of the names is Mexican Joe Pesci, and I laughed.
It was Native American.
Native American Joe Pesci. Sorry, Native American Joe Pesci, and I laughed.
It was
so hard today.
The other one was the Steven Seagal one that got me. It was like,
oh really?
Okay. It's like, no, I caught that one walking in.
And that whole stuff that happens where it kind of cuts away. He wakes up after he suggested both of them would show up for his apartment for some a quick orgy. He wakes up and
no, it wasn't even that. He was just saying, well, you can invite your friend too if you're not comfortable. We can have drinks, and later he
wakes
he
up with
the
friend
because it was this whole thing where he always fucks it up at the end. That's his whole that's his personality.
And of course, Harmony rejects him after he goes out and asks for forgiveness, and of course, it flows into the movie actually kind of starts for real. And that's like 20 minutes into the movie. And it is weird in a way, but you had to have that whole big sort of episode 1 kind of a thing because it kind of 4 episodes in.
A setup.
Or with day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Kind of flows into one into another. But you have sort of a distinctive... You know that moment where you turn the page in a book, where you have a little bit of a breather before you get into the next chapter? That kind of felt like that to me, where Shane Black really slowed you down before he starts the next move, where he lets you have 15 seconds to digest what you just gone through. Because the movie, let's just face it, the movie is a lot of dialogue.
Yep.
And it's super fast. Not as fast as Kevin Smith, but a ton of dialogue. And you really you need a little bit of a moment there to digest everything, and then you move on to the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And the next one is a doozy because that's where he joins Perry in a surveillance
bit. And what's great too is they already have that almost antagonistic buddy cop kind of thing, which tied in so well with the fact that, Shane Black, what did he write?
Yeah, he wrote Lethal Weapon. He wrote Predator. He wrote A Long Kiss Goodnight, which is really a buddy cop. You have Samuel L. Jackson and Gina Davis having that.
We're gonna get to that at the very, very end when we wrap up. But anyway, so we have we'll just starting there where he opens up the glove compartment, sees the Derringer, and there was that one. He's already making that one gauge up. Like, well, I call that a effort because it's only good for 1-2 shots, and then you leave it behind. Where it's like.
That is a real inside baseball talk. If you don't know,
really
it kind of flows over your head. But yeah, it goes into maybe even a little bit of criticism about the gay community being a slam dunk and move on.
Oh yeah,
this
is 2004. This is pre-Grindr, where it got
which kind of perpetuates that criticism, but we'll put that aside. It's not really what it's all about, but
it's all the setup of the Ames basically stakeout. And what's funny is when they actually were getting into outside of the house, right? There are all those fake deer there. Robert Downey Jr. would do one thing during miscellaneous takes while they're doing the outside camera work there that would make Val Kilmer laugh. They'd have to cut and roll back.
Okay, what did he do?
Every single time they would get somewhat serious. He'd look over at one of the deers, look at Val, look at the deer, go, "Who sent you?" And apparently it made Val laugh every single time.
Nice. I did appreciate the whole, because he smokes or Harry smokes in at the start of the surveillance, and he's like, "Okay, put that out," and he says, "Where do you want me to put it out?"
He's like, "Yeah, put it over near the rest of the dried leaves over there."
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "Don't do that! Don't do that! We know where that goes." But yeah, so they do a surveillance. They see a car. They even mentioned the fact that the car doesn't sound right, and I kind of have expected it to blow up, but of course it doesn't.
I was like, "What am I, a mechanic?"
Yes, exactly. And then, of course, we have that whole series of events where it goes down. They find this body, and a small little detail of him covering the dress over the exposed vagina, and I was like,
Again, it's more the story of a good guy that Harry actually is deep down. Like, he is not that kind of person. So he kind of just wanted to kind of save her modesty for what she could. But that was just a really big tie-in that ties it all together at the end. It was that one little bit.
And I love the fact that they see two guys up above with ski masks. And what does Harry do? Hi, we're over here.
What are you doing? Call the cops. And also, okay, Perry, I know, buddy. First of all, if you're going to try to open up the trunk, don't shoot to unlock it. Come on. It's like, it was because when he brings up Veronica, the actual Veronica's corpse, it's like, yeah, her neck was broken. But try telling the cops that. Is it before or after you shot her in the face?
In the head. That whole message between the two before he kind of leaves them be, and then of course
the whole bit about the Harmony's quote unquote suicide, and then the beer, the Gennaro's beer commercial. Okay, the only thing, because it's shown up twice. Do you know who voiced the bear?
Robert Downey Jr.
No, uncredited. It's Lawrence Fishburne.
What? Really?
Yep.
Okay. The thing is, once is with Michelle Monaghan, and then at the very end, it's with the actress or the I don't know, a woman who is an old has-been actress that kind of cock-blocked him before he reached Harmony.
No.
Domino room?
It was the girl that was across the bar, because she's like the blonde over there.
Yeah.
She's 35. I know that because I've seen her at auditions. People should tell her, you should give up. It's over. And that's when he asks, like, how old are you? I'm 34. I'm a baby.
And that's the whole point, is she's in this commercial, and at the end, it's the other girl in the commercial. And I was like, oh, that's a clever bit of writing. You don't have to put that in, but they did put that in, and it's I found that very satisfying. I don't know what it was, but it was very, in terms of writing, very satisfying to me.
Yep. Yeah.
And of course, we have that whole deal where she is not really suicidal.
She's not dead. No,
she's not dead.
It was just basically, it was her little sister who stole her identity, and she thinks that she was murdered. Because to be fair, given what happened, was like, well, from what we know later, it makes sense. But again, from everything from Harmony's understanding, like, why would you take a birth control pill the day you're going to kill yourself? That makes no sense. Like,
makes no
why
sense.
Would you do that?
And Harry kind of pretends to be a private detective, even though he's not,
because he just said that to Flicka. Who is the air stewardess, who, by the way, Michelle Monaghan. I know she's a very, very attractive woman. I probably would have gone with Flicka, to be honest. I mean,
me too. But that girl is a supermodel.
Yes,
like a real supermodel.
What's so interesting is like she was into Harry though at the end there at the airport.
Yeah,
like,
she was. That's kind of true. This moment where the spider falls on her breasts, and then it crawls into the very small, well, she doesn't have much of a chest, so it's believable, I guess. It crawls between the tit and the bra, and he's trying to flick it, but then he kind of has to touch it. When she wakes up, she tells him, don't worry, it's fine. I get it. Everybody's trying to touch my tits. And he's like, no. I was trying to kill a spider. And when she kind of looks at it, she sees the leg of what's left of the spider.
He sees the leg. She doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't?
No,
I thought she did.
She just lets him off the hook. Like,
Anyway, she's like, Harry, don't worry about it. That's everybody in Hollywood.
It's like, it's not a big deal. It's like, no, it is a big deal. And I'm not that guy. Because again, he's trying to prove that
he is the good guy.
In his own way, he is the proverbial nice guy. I mean, he even has one of the rants later that we will discuss. That's something that will be said in Reddit in about 10 years. And it's from quote unquote nice guys, not actual nice guys.
Yeah. So while he's talking to her, he's in the bathroom, and then he kind of on the side of the eye he's trying to not let her go because she's going because he touched her tit. And he kind of slowly turns away and he pees all over the body.
Yep, at the ceiling. Ah!
And when he talks to
it's like, why would you pee on the corpse? It's like, yes. I didn't do it for pleasure.
Yeah. It's fucking funny. And another funny bit is the fact that they're like, how are we going to get this body past everybody in the hall? Because it's a hotel. So they're like, oh, roof access. And they just dump the body all over. I thought they would hit the dumpster, but of course they won't, because why not put in another side joke in it?
The only other thing I was thinking of when I first saw this movie, what I really, really wanted to do was the scene with, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the film. Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, where the corpse actually falls down on top of the roof of the cab and busts it open. Jamie Foxx, Collateral. Yeah, because I was thinking, because the first time I saw this, I was thinking, is this going to be a Collateral situation?
No way. I remember this part, but I kind of wanted it to go in the dumpster. That's the whole bit. Because I've seen the movie, but I haven't seen it in a while. And I was like, no, they don't hit the dumpster, but you want them to hit the dumpster. Because it's front and center.
Yeah.
And then the body comes in off kilter and falls and breaks onto the side. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? Why did you show me the entire dumpster? Sure. Oh, yeah, because it's a joke.
I was going to say, the only other thing, too, is what's really kind of important there is Harmony ends up meeting him there. But even as she's leaving, she helps save Harry and Perry there, because the cops are going like, oh no, it's not room 704, it's room 504. There was a lot of noise there. You should really go check that out.
Yeah. And that's what she does as she goes downstairs and into the lobby.
She's already in the lobby and she's leaving, but she saves him already. And then just as a note there, the cops are like, as they're moving the body into the trunk, the cops are moving by and Perry's like, kiss me. Yeah. He grabs him and kisses him.
Yeah.
Funny story about that. Val Kilmer said, to get the perfect take, I was imagining Robert Downey Jr. as Kevin Bacon. It helped me get through the scene. So, Mr. Kilmer, maybe you don't want 6 degrees of separation between you guys anymore. I see.
And of course, that kind of leads into that whole conversation with Harry and Harmony. I want to say Hermione so bad, but it's Harmony.
Harmony.
It's them watching the news about the Dexter clinic thing, and it kind of gives them another breadcrumb to go and kind of investigate. And I love the fact that Perry kind of leaves Harry with, you're not a private detective. You should tell her that you're not a private detective, because this is ridiculous.
He tells her like, no, you're not. The setup on the roof, the kind of confrontation between Harry and Perry, where he says, listen, you have to leave now because people are trying to murder you. You have to leave now. It's like, oh, but no. Well, I have a screening test. It's like, you're not getting the part. You're not getting the part. What it was all just a setup to get more money for Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. And I thought that was hilarious.
Do you know why it's hilarious?
This was around the time of the phone booth, right?
No, this is after Val Kilmer was in a little film that he just lost 50 pounds from to do this role. He was Alexander's father in Alexander.
Oh,
and Colin Farrell was in Alexander.
I would never get that. I've seen Alexander once, and I don't remember that much from it.
Awful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. 300 did it better, and it's a completely different story.
Listen. No, I told her you're not a PI. You're not anything. So someone says, I know you want to hit me. It's like, he punches him like, take that, you sissy bitch.
But it kind of leads him to going here, re-meeting Flicka, and realizing that he kind of wants to go back to Harmony and really don't want to leave New York.
Well, the whole thing is that, well, I'm going back to the East Coast. And it's like, so, well, I have it, but I'm sorry, it's underneath my phone. It's underneath her stage name, which is Ames.
Yeah.
Which was the girl that bought
the surveillance from Gay Perry.
At the beginning, like, and it's like, oh shit.
That's
this
bad.
case just blew wide open.
So he goes straight to Harmony to try and explain exactly that. But all she does is close the fucking door on his finger. And
severed.
Yeah. And well, this is okay, I guess. Right? It's iodine anyway, right? It's all iodine. So the thing is,
also would have put a massive splint on it, so it wouldn't have been able to be bent in any way, shape, or form. But
yes,
it's
the movie magic,
trending stuff,
magic movie. The fact that what he does is he goes after that lead because it kind of involves the fact that her sister took up her name and run the credit. It's her stage name and all that stuff. And then he kind of goes after the girl with the pink hair. Roughly finds her by accident.
That's way later.
No, he goes to the club first, right? He goes to the club.
No, he actually goes. Today. He's in the back seat of the taxi when he's talking to Harmony, and that's where Shane Black wrote the line, and is he's fucked up on Demerol. He says like, no, that's who I am now. I'm LAPI, as in the tie back to the original title. And then this whole live exhibition art piece work.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. worked there as an exhibit in his earlier.
Is that a real place?
Yeah.
Man, LA is weird. Too bad it's burned. I've been to LA, but never seen that part.
Yeah.
I've never seen that part. The fact that
we have the
Gay Perry's there is not a big shocker.
The literal nice guy story is like, well, then one of the girls that walks up and is like, yeah, by the way, I was in the bathroom and he was hitting on me. Like, actually, no, that didn't happen. At least we didn't see it on camera anyway. And it was actually not in any deleted scene either. And that's where he goes on that the new nice guy rant, where it's like, one guy who fucks like 100 girls, they pretty much had a pretty good childhood, but no. Some girl who fucks like 100 guys, no, she's really messed up. It's like, dude.
The thing is, that's where they kind of click on the fact that this guy is the guy.
Yep. And what was the name of the film?
Oh, now I don't remember. I really don't. I didn't write it in my notes.
Lord of the Cock Rings.
Lord of the Cock Rings? Because he put the tape in.
No, because it was supposed to. It's a fake name over it, so no one would know what it was.
Yeah.
And we find out that no, it's actually just Corbin Burnson actually in a portrayal of Gossamer, the detective that was shot back in Indiana. So, yeah, ties that other third part of the story together. But also, just as an aside, one thing we didn't talk about behind the screens because I want to talk about it here.
Sure.
Do you know Corbin Burnson's production company or the first film that his production company produced?
No.
You're looking at it.
Oh, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep.
Oh, you made bank. You made bank. No, I think
no,
this movie failed, right?
This movie failed, and what's interesting too is the way that it failed was very odd because it actually received a standing ovation at Cannes. People really liked the movie, and what's interesting is the fact that it only had a limited release internationally on 169 theaters. They did not go above that, and they should have, especially internationally. Do you know why? 70% of the box office came from international markets.
Damn.
This movie did well internationally.
I mean, I think on Rotten Tomatoes, it's very like both audience. I think
it's 86 or so.
86 or 87, something like that, which is pretty good.
I think critics still it's still a 7.5 out of 10, which is like that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not terrible. So it should have made a little bit of money, but yeah.
No, it actually ended up losing money overall.
Yeah, losing money. Yeah. So we have the first run-in with the two guys, and to be fair, even back then, I kind of felt like these two guys are not the sharpest tools in the shed.
Yeah, frying pan and fire, who also known as mustard later, which is a very interesting kind of thing because Ike and Mike and mustard, it's kind of pseudo slang, and it was a derogatory term from like in the 1950s, like maybe they're gay. And it was a very very bad. It was a very very bad thing. Well, that and also like in the fact that he's like yeah, and I'm mustard. I'm like. Mustard? Maybe you are.
Well, not DJ Mustard, at least.
I'm like, we're not here to judge, buddy. I mean, that's cool if you swing that way, but I don't think you know what you're saying.
I love the fact that he gets into the car with her, and she's like, "Don't follow these guys." And she's like, "No, I'm just writing down the license plate. I'm not following them."
It's like, are you following them? They're turning. It's just like. Fuck.
But he's still hopped up on the Demerol thing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really know, but she thinks they're going to MacArthur Park to kill him, which they kind of are.
Which they are. They were there to kill Perry.
Yeah.
Tie up loose ends.
And she wants to go and save him, but she's a little bit incompetent.
Very much so. She has good intentions.
I love the fact that it's super clear that another chick does all of the jumping. It is fucking obvious.
It's very clear that was not Megan Moynihan. And what's also interesting too is I love the tie-in where we actually get the Mia Fry story because we get that's Shannon Sossaman. Who's wearing the pink.
Yes, from Rules of the Rules of Attraction.
And also like First Night and she's more known for First Night than Rules of Attraction. But anyway, but if you notice too, you actually see her clearly as quote unquote Veronica back at the party with her dad, with her quote unquote dad.
Yeah, but it's I went back to it now, like off camera or off live while trying to get the correct thing. It's very subtle, and there's so many extras around. You don't actually get to
The only
get
way
the
that you
real
kind of
picture, but yeah.
well, the only way that you really notice too, it's more prevalent later is when the big reveal with the dad and
Yeah.
her. Yeah. It's
Her
a little
being naked and all. Yeah.
yeah. So we have basically her falling, the gun going off by accident, trying to warn Perry.
Yeah.
Then the guy who's in a fucking food truck just murks Mr. Frying Pan.
He's a badass Mexican dude.
He's just like, no, fuck you,
bitch. I love it. Made me like, there are so many, even this action moment, which is supposed to be like intense, makes out to be a full-on joke.
It's funny.
They kind of stumble into this joke where he has a funny death, literally a funny death, because you kind of expect Perry to be the one to do the deed, but he kind of hits him in the shoulder. But the Mexican dude in the food truck was like, "Fuck you, bitch!"
It's like no. Look, I've had enough of this shit. I kind of wanted Paul Mexican Iron Man to show up on this one. Like,
yeah. Oh my god. So the thing is, because the pink hair lady goes into the wrong car.
Well,
for some reason.
Well, because to be fair, what happened was that Harmony left the keys in the ignition.
Yeah, I know, and she just travels with Harry.
She panicked because she just saw someone get shot to death. Yeah. She didn't sign up for this.
No, she didn't. But then she walks with another guy that you don't see because Harry's under the bed, and she sees her dying, but wants her to be quiet.
You can clearly hear that's.
Oh yeah, I know. I
mean,
but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be if you're Harry, she walks in with a guy that you don't know who the guy is. He doesn't even know who she is. To be honest.
No, he does. Oh no, sorry. Harry doesn't know who she is.
Harry doesn't know who she is.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then of course he calls Michelle after he killed the dude.
No, so basically, Mr. Fire kills her and is about to get stuff to basically get rid of the body, and
he leaves the gun behind, which is dumb.
And this was the big thing too, where again people keep underestimating Harry, and this keeps happening time and time again, especially like the big climactic scene at the very end of the film where it like yeah
well, it kind of flips on its back, the whole mustard thing, but because if you have the mustard to kill me, he doesn't say it, but I thought
like,
of it.
Oh, Mr. Tough Guy, eh? You got a
exactly.
gun. What are you gonna do with that? Bam, bam, bam. No, not hesitation. Just like, yep, you're dead. Yep.
Yeah, but he has enough kind of sense to wipe the fingerprints, his fingerprints from the gun, and place it in her hand. Yeah. But then, of course, the exchange with the dog.
The dog. So the dog story is very, very, very funny. Because they had to do so many takes with the dog and the quote-unquote finger.
Yeah, because it was probably a sausage or something.
Well, the fact that the way the prosthetic was set, it was actually supposed to be on a popsicle stick, except for the dog who had it hanging out of his mouth like he was fucking Winston Churchill with a cigar. So you just saw this with a little finger popsicle. He's just,
yeah. So
there though, he was a very good boy.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my twisted brain. I will never try to reattach that finger back because the mouth of a dog is so fucking dirty with like really bad bacteria and viruses. I do not want to have sepsis and die because I want a finger.
Also, to be at this point in time, I think it's almost completely unsalvageable with how.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How long it's been now detached for the second time.
Yeah, I know. But he later on he just eats it, and I was like, well, good.
No, it's just like, well, the fingerprint. Well, the dog has it. Well, because he's talking to Perry. Well, then kill the dog, and the dog was like, I don't think it's going to be a problem anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But he has that moment where he realizes
he has a psychological fucking break where it's like,
yeah,
I've killed someone.
Yeah, and it's a profound moment, and it's one of the only kind of real profound moments. One of them is actually at the start where he's crying over a fallen friend. He doesn't know he's dead, but he kind of thinks he is. And it's sort of that same moment where he goes one step further each time and he can't go back.
Yep.
I found that very interesting how he kind of built that. And from this moment on, he shoots as soon as he has a gun, he just
all I'm saying is he gets real comfy with murder real fast.
Real quick.
And also, like, one of the best dark comedy bits is coming up later. His second murder, which I think is probably one of the funniest scenes in the entire movie. Because the first time I saw this in the theaters, I laughed out loud, and everyone looked at me like I had lost my mind.
All right. We'll do a quick stop here, right? I know there's a few more scenes before we do the ending, but I do want to clear the table before we get to the ending. So we'll play our second game of the night. It is called Screen Fighter.
Round 1, fight.
Screen Fighter is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, both of them are good, both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? National Treasure or original Jumanji, the Robin Williams Jumanji?
Even though I think it's probably one of Nick Cage's worst films, National Treasure.
Interesting. Better, like worse than The Prophecy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated The Prophecy.
I do not like National Treasure. The entire franchise, I hate that.
Okay.
But it is better than Jumanji. The only redeemable bit about Jumanji is the fact that they didn't do what the next version of Jumanji did, where they made it a video game or whatever. They actually tried to adapt it into the board game, where they actually brought in, like, quote unquote, live antler, like, and how Robin Williams was trapped in the game the whole time as a character. That was a unique twist on the narrative, but without Robin Williams, it would have fallen apart. Like any other actor in Jumanji, that movie would have been completely forgettable.
Okay. I didn't like Jumanji. I watched it in the theater. I was like, Robin Williams was kind of wasted on that movie. I kind of like National Treasure. It would have worked way better if it wasn't Nicolas Cage. It would have worked better if it wasn't Nicolas Cage. But to be honest, National Treasure kind of gave him a boost after the 90s kind of waned down, and he didn't get the parts that he wanted, even though he was big.
That's very true. You know who actually would have been great in National Treasure?
Harrison Ford.
Bingo. Yeah. No, you read my mind. No, Harrison Ford. Yeah.
The crowd is kind of split. I don't want to put in haven't seen both. So I'll put in Jumanji because it was you who said it first. It's pretty much 50-50.
Oh, come on. That's way too easy.
Wedding Crashers or Scary Movie 2?
It's a really, really weird Japanese poster for Scary Movie 2.
Yeah.
It's the Wedding Crashers. Yeah.
Not one of my favorite team ups, Wedding Crashers, but Scary Movie 2. I stir with these hands.
I still don't. There's no reason that any film past the original Scary Movie should have been made. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Blues Brothers or
come
About
on.
the Boy with Nicholas Hoult.
Orange Whip.
Yeah, I know. Atonement or Lilo and Stitch. Now, I want to start. Atonement is fucking boring. It's boring, okay?
These are two diametrically opposed films.
I would take Atonement over Lilo and Stitch every single day of the week.
Wow, really?
Is
That's
this a joke?
surprising.
Griffin, no, it is not. You can have the most outlandish pairing with this website.
I would still go with Lilo and Stitch because Atonement. That's a movie again, a one and done. I would never want to see that movie again. Never.
Paul Harley is mirroring my thoughts. It's like super boring, but still would not be watching Lilo and Stitch. So I will get this one, okay?
Yeah, you could take it. That's fine.
Classics.
Oh,
Sunset
come on.
Boulevard or For Your Eyes Only.
Fuck off, James Bond. It's Sunset Boulevard any goddamn day of the week. And even though that is a great Japanese poster of For Your Eyes Only.
It is.
But no, Sunset Boulevard. It's one of God. Talking about neo-noirs, that is so fucking good. And we just talked about it earlier.
Yes, the James Holden. Yeah, I think Gary mentioned it.
Good.
I'm going to pick Sunset Boulevard. For Your Eyes Only, it's not a bad Bond movie. It is just okay. I would still go with Sunset Boulevard. Easy.
Fair.
It's a really good movie. The Client or Father of the Bride?
Now, this is one that you're going to find very, very interesting.
Okay, shoot.
I found The Client to be one of the most boring cinematic experiences I've ever been through.
Really? That's really interesting.
Would not want to watch that film. I would not wish it upon anyone else.
Paul is like, I've never seen The Client.
Don't.
Wow.
Don't. So it's a one and done, Paul. There are some very, very good performances by especially Susan Sarandon is very, very good in that. But I would definitely never recommend watching it. Follow the Bride, not a good movie, but Steve Martin's still funny in it.
The more years go by, the more I kind of find a lot of Steve Martin stuff dislikable at all.
Really? Even Three Amigos?
No, some of them.
Okay.
Some of them. I like Parenthood.
Yeah.
I like Three Amigos. I like the earlier stuff, but like Father of the Bride is the sort of the start of the downfall for me. With anything that has to do with Steve Martin, it's just like it's not planes, trains, and automobiles. It's not. I want to say the Client because I really dislike the Father of the Bride, but like most of the chat is with Father of the Bride. So,
well, War Monkey has a good point. I thought Shakespeare in Love was also very boring. And also, I am so with Elaine. I hated The English Patient. I'm sorry.
I hated The English Patient too. It's fucking boring. It's meandering. Ugh. Return of the Jafar or Over the Hedge.
This is I think. Wait, is that the original Over the Hedge?
I don't know.
Are these both sequels?
I think maybe this is a sequel too.
I will just say The Return of Jafar because I have seen. I remember watching them when I was younger. I haven't seen them in ages. But Return of Jafar and it was like Aladdin the 40 Thieves was the third Aladdin film. They were at least fun.
Okay. I would go with the Return of Jafar and be done with the discussion, to be honest. Last one, Original Spartacus and City of Industry.
Ooh. Okay.
You want me to start?
Go for it. This one's tough.
I'm not a big fan of City of Industry. I think I've watched it once, maybe twice.
Fair.
Harvey Keitel is great in it, but on the whole, the movie doesn't hold up for me. Spartacus, although I would not put it on every so often, it is iconic enough to say I would watch this because this is the better movie.
Yeah.
Better constructed, a much deeper story. I would go with Spartacus.
And even though
the performance is phenomenal.
It's also not even the correct historical version of Spartacus. Like,
I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean with history. but
Dude,
I will say
60 Hollywood. This is like still old Hollywood.
I'm still going to go with Spartacus just because, again, as Chatter says, I mean, I am Spartacus.
I am Spartacus,
Come on,
and
we're doing one more.
Another one? No.
Yeah, it's my birthday. Bring it up.
Really?
Because this one's super easy.
There we go. That's better. Annie Hall or Sleepers?
Ooh, this is actually a very interesting one because Annie Hall and Midnight in Paris are two of the only Woody Allen films that I actually still enjoy.
Okay.
Have you seen Midnight in Paris yet?
Probably once.
It's
the one with Owen Wilson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it once.
And about him going, like, basically traveling in time, seeing visiting the actual, like, Algonquin round table with Fitzgerald and Hemingway.
Yep. I've seen it once.
It's fantastic.
Paris does not look the same, or does it? Never mind.
No. Well, now that you've been
you
there,
know what I mean. We talked about this when I was in Paris, or just before. You remember that conversation?
Yep. Nope.
Okay, you're going with Annie Hall?
No, I'm going with Sleepers.
I'm going with Sleepers too. Much better story.
I think Sleepers is fucking fantastic. To actually make a pun here. People are still kind of sleeping on Sleepers.
Correct.
Come on, hit it, hit the rim shot. There you go.
You got it. It's your birthday. You got it. All right. Let me switch back over. My throat is killing me. Sorry about that. All right. So, Harry just killed a guy, and he developed a taste of blood. Even though in Natural Born Killers, he kind of did the same. They have that conversation with Perry where everything kind of falls in line, but it's
still
that moment where it's that specific moment where they talk about the books where it kind of is over, but it's not really over
yet.
And a guy's going to be tortured at the end. This is that moment in that conversation where we mentioned that before.
Well, and it's also where Perry is still telling them, stop this right now. You're going to get yourselves killed. Stop.
Yeah. Well, we
then
can do that.
we have the whole bit with Harmony and Harry, where Harry flat out just tells him the entire truth about himself, how he's a crook, he's a thief.
Yeah, I'm a thief. All that stuff.
Because she keeps saying, like, well, you have this idealized version of me. You don't know who I am. He's like, well, yeah, I do, because you're still kind of my dream girl. And then they have drinks, and then this happens. And then he has that whole bit where you get a little more in a hand nipple.
Let's just say this. The whole point of this is she's like, okay, you can sleep in the bed, but it's only sleep. But then when she cuddles in, it's a little bit more than sleep.
Well, that was just like, well, you're a white knight who goes, nope, not white enough. Nope. Because again, him still trying to be true to himself, where it's like, no, I don't think I can really be okay like this. So,
But then
They have the freebie conversation.
He throws her out because he finds out that she actually did sleep with his friend.
best friend.
And
he said that she said that she would.
Yeah, we haven't touched upon it, but there is a full flashback where he kind of mentioned the fact that they were there through high school. He was kind of friend zoned, even though he had a big crush on her because she fucked a lot of guys during high school. But she always came back to him to cry on his shoulder. But at least she didn't sleep with my best friend. And then it comes to find out that she did.
Because she said, like, well, no, she promised to never sleep with him. I was like, well, I have to tell you that you fucked him. And I love the bit. He was like, watch your hands as he slams the door. But the only other bit there was when, again, where she's getting down her skivvies, he has that flashback and recalls that Veronica was not wearing any panties. And apparently her for being this born-again Christian, why was she wearing underwear?
Yeah.
And
it kind of falls into line, which leads them into this, not asylum, but private, not rehab.
Well, because
a loony bin. Let's call it a loony bin.
Yeah, and
that's what actually they used to call it.
But it's owned. It's owned by Harlan Dexter, who is Veronica's father. And the whole bit is that it was Perry got the call from Harmony, who kind of put the pieces together, but wasn't answering a phone because she's actually working. But he's thinking that she got kidnapped because she put the pieces together. And I love the bit where he was like, well, I was telling him the whole story about Destiny and about how I was in love with her and how she fucked my best friend. But no, as soon as I mentioned the whole panties bit,
And I love the fact that the orderly that kind of catches them both, he puts the gun to Perry's
the
back.
Other the patient at the beginning too, and they're like, hey, listen, girl, I don't like Kurt Cobain either. You're okay. You might be off your rocker, but you know what? Kurt Cobain probably did steal your
game. Do you mind dropping your pants and telling us if you're wearing panties? Was a big move.
Drop and
yeah. That was a brave move, Cotton. Like I said, that smart little thing where he puts the gun to Perry's back and Perry kind of explaining to Harry that they're standing too close and this would happen.
You have to stand at least 5 feet apart. Otherwise, someone could just take your gun away from like that. And I love immediately because the orderly hit Harry. He turns around and he just pistol whips him. Was like, see, I hit you for no reason. How do you like it?
Yeah. And then that whole exchange with the gun, I don't have it cued exactly that point.
At the very beginning, too, this is not good cop and bad cop. This is F-word and New Yorker.
Yeah, F-word and New Yorker, which is hilarious. So the whole point is he empties the gun, puts the barrel in.
Because it was a revolver. Russian roulette, and he goes like, well... Bang!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Did you actually put a live round in there? It just kills the guy.
and then the whole math. Yeah. Who taught you math? Well, I had a 1 in 8 chance. No. There's only 6 bullets in that gun. It's not 1 of 8.
But it was only supposed to be 12%. No.
And then of course they get caught by Dexter's men.
Well, because it's funny because Harmony calls a Perry, and also the whole bit about setups and payoffs. You realize what his ringtone is.
I didn't notice the ringtone. No,
it's I Will Survive.
Oh, okay. I get it. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't catch the thing. Oh, I got the best. The best.
And the fake bit too, where Harmony, as she calls them back, pretends to be the carpet cleaner.
Carpet cleaner.
Like, this girl is down. Like she is down that.
And like we said, this is a full foreshadowing on what they discussed at Harry's hotel room, where it's not really the end, because at the very end there's a big torture scene, and the guy, and this is the torture scene basically.
And you know what's fantastic too? You know how they got the live pain shots for RDJ?
Please tell me.
One of Shane's PAs would walk up and punch him in the side.
Ow.
Yeah. To actually get actual pain responses.
I love the fact that Perry.
Oh, the whole bit too at the end was like, yeah, well, is it like, I know you put it there instead of on his chest because the chest would be more effective because you want to see his dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you got it in you. And the same thing too. And how he gets him down there, and where he actually had the Derringer against setup and payoffs of the Derringer from the very beginning in his pants, where it looks like he's got a hard on and he shoots him twice. This is like homophobes never check there.
Exactly. And he says it like he says it so casually. That's what was funny.
And it was great too. He's all like, oh good, I thought that was just kind of a gay thing.
It is a gay thing. Oh, this is just perfect. It is so good. And the fact that Harry's like, stop antagonizing him, because every time he said he's a homophobe, he keeps shocking his balls. Oh,
that's so good.
Oh my God. This movie is so, we do it injustice by describing stuff.
Yeah.
It is so fucking funny.
And what's great too is like it's only soup to nuts. Only like an hour, like
hour 42 with credits with everything.
Yeah, it's a real fast watch. But so after the torture bit, we have that's Dexter's people.
Yeah, Harmony. Yeah, Harmony runs away because the Dexter and his boys put the
Harmony
real
abducts
body
the van with the corpse in it.
Yes,
like a fucking boss.
And for somehow the guys kind of push her to a barrel roll, and she just walks out of there as if nothing fucking happened. And I was like, come on, dude. Come on. At least have a limp, something. She manages to jump about, 6, 7, 8 feet down to the slope. Okay, I get it. It's a soft landing because there's brush, bushes in there. I get it. But she just barrel rolled a fucking van. Please make it a little bit more believable. But okay, I get it.
So you know, suspension of disbelief. But then we have the hitmen that are after them, and with the whole bit where Perry and Harry are there, and one of the hitman has the gunshot that goes through Perry and hits Harry.
Yeah, and one of the things that we said at the start, you said it at the start, the fact that Shane Black wanted Perry to specifically to be gay, but also the guy who kind of saves the day, like burst through the door kind of a thing. And what he does is Harry is standing in front and Perry is behind him, and Harry
is the one
pushes him away.
Yeah.
And he eats the bullet.
Yeah.
Because first of all, Perry is armed and Harry isn't, but he's also saving an innocent person.
No. So, the thing is, what's more important is it's a callback to one of their first bits where they were in the hotel, where he said, I don't know. Well, when Harry was talking to Perry, I thought we were getting along. I thought we were friends. He's like, no, you idiot! I get rid of bodies so it doesn't affect my boss.
And I love about this point is after that kiss that they did, it harkens back to this where Harry
he attempts to do mouth to
mouth, and all he gets is a bunch of blood because he hit him in the chest. So obviously, it doesn't go well. So he tries to get away. He gets shot at, not on. And he falls on the casket, and he tries to hold on because her hand, it kind of limps out of the casket.
No, what's important is right in the middle there is another call, and it's from Harmony. With that.
Please.
And it's the callback to the magic show. Where as when she was a little girl, it's the same line we're doing the whole saw in half bit.
Exactly. But he doesn't know where she actually is, even though she is technically right below him.
And there's also another little fun little setup and payoff right here too, where when he's still down, the gun flies off and he grabs it and he shoots Dexter and kills him. It's like, Magic Man. Because he just said before, when the phone flew up when Dexter first got them outside of the mental hospital, it's like, well, good hands. Like, yeah, I used to be a magician.
Yep.
So,
I want to get to that last bit where he kind of he holds onto the body and then it lets it go. He falls on the car and has a full-on shootout with the driver and the other dude, the passenger. And he kills them both,
which is fantastic too, because he just turned from basically I'm so terrified I took a man's life to no, don't
fuck these bitches.
And, he even tells the guy don't to pick up when he's trying to pick up his gun, so he just it's you or me. So
and when he does join Harmony, I want to get to that point where he thinks that the book saved him.
Yeah, the Gossamer book, which is so fun because it's a payoff to a lot of different Shane Black stuff.
Really? Do tell.
So a lot of different things. So in some of various different versions of especially Lethal Weapon 2 and A Long Kiss Goodnight, they even mentioned this well, we can't leave a downer ending as a gag, so how Perry survives and everything.
Yeah,
in Lethal Weapon 2, Murtaugh was supposed to die.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Full stop. He was supposed to die.
I mean, they both get shot up real bad at the very end.
He was it was supposed to be Dunzo.
He was literally too old for that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed it right away back in the day, and I noticed it right now again. I don't watch this movie every few weeks, so I don't remember every single detail. Plus, my head is my head. I immediately caught the fact that there's a bullet hole, and I was like, okay, that's right. They meet up later in the hospital. So, of course, the bullet actually hit him. But he had so much adrenaline that he just kept going until he actually noticed that, oh, shit, there is a bullet in me, and he flops on her.
And it's also a callback to it's a weird one, but it's actually a callback to Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to shoot him. It actually didn't go through his speech. So, yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yep. Anyway. So we
have, like you said, the unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's not really unreliable. This one is more like a fourth wall kind of a break thing.
A lot of fun because oh yeah, of course he survived, and let's bring in everybody. So Mia walks in, you can get the shot where all of them are actually just.
I'm trying to get that. Yeah.
But it's we have Mia walk in, we have Mr.
Mustard, we have Fry Pan, and we have Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln, and then at the end, like as they're getting pushed out, an orderly is pushing out Fat Elvis at the end too. It's good enough. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. See,
it really is a few frames, to be fair. Just a few frames. And right after the nurse pushes everybody out, it's the Fat Elvis. There we go. And I think it's also the Native American Joe Pesci guy.
I think that actually might be the same actor.
It could have been the same guy, but it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that
I feel really bad about saying this because I'm doing a rewatch of Seinfeld right now too. But that shot, he kind of looks like Jason Alexander.
Kind of, with a lot more tan.
Yeah.
And then of course they have that conversation in the hallway.
Well, we get the very sad story of what actually happened to Harmony's sister. The fact that it was just
she did commit suicide.
She did commit suicide because essentially, like, she thought that she was always told by Harmony that the actor who was Dexter was her father because he was in that old Gossamer movie back when they filmed back in Indiana way back in the day. And so she went out to LA to find him. And when she found him, well,
he was with the replacement daughter, and so she thought that it was incestual, and it sort of gave her flashbacks to when she was a kid, because the whole point when she was a kid, she was abused by the dad, and that's why Harmony ran away. Basically ran away to make it in LA and then save her sister, which never happened.
Which she couldn't do.
Yeah.
Which it's a very sad side story, but there's a lot of good pathos there. But then we have again this as they're walking back and forth too. Just the fact that they're ribbing each other the entire time too, down the hallway. Where he goes, is like, yeah, is that what you like? Yeah, I checked him out earlier. It's like, what is he, about 6'5"? Yeah, he walks like he's gay.
Yeah. And then before it ends, he says it was like, well, he might be turning gay, or I might turn him into gay, or something like that. And I was like, okay.
And what's great too is before that too, like when they're in Harry's hospital suite where the way he was like, "How you doing, F-word hag?" You know, like I was like, "Yeah, we're buddies. We're buddies."
It's
the best
never.
part too,
you know what? They use the bad F word, not the good one. The fuck. No, never mind. Fuck. Never mind. They use the F word a lot, never in a bad context. To my knowledge, it's never in a bad context.
It's in reference as a pejorative, but it's never used as a direct pejorative.
Yes, never derisive, never trying to put you down for real. Only as a banter point, not really as.
I think is probably like the best way to take it. Where again, Gay Perry. Because, well, his name's Perry, but they call him Gay Perry.
Yeah.
So
even though he smashes the pussy, no, never mind.
No, because as he said, no, I just like the name so much, I just can't get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but the real kind of, I don't know, goody feel to it is
Capper was right here. Was like, don't worry.
Confronting the real abuser.
Abusive father. Because he said, well, I saw the Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to give you 18 long endings. No. So I'm going to leave you with a good note where Perry visits.
Yeah,
Jenna's
not
father.
Harry.
Yeah.
Not Harry.
Perry, because Perry's like, no. I went to the zoo, but they're closed. So I came here to see an animal.
Yeah.
And then he just slaps the shit out of him.
Yeah. But then we have the second ending. And I was like, oh, you cheeky motherfucker.
Yeah.
You did get more than one ending. Because you get this one. And even Perry, when he walks in, he criticizes him. It's like, just shut the thing.
Stop talking to camera, Owens. Sorry.
Stop talking to the camera.
For people in the Midwest, sorry to say fuck too much.
Yeah. And I was like, let me just text my good friend from the Midwest.
Like, yep. That hit home, sir.
Yes, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Well, in the end, it shows that like their friendship maintained. Like, you don't know what happened with Harmony and Harry, but that's really not important. What's the most important thing is like with Lethal Weapon, you didn't care about the society, the ancillary characters. You cared about who?
The buddy cops.
Yeah. And this at the end, he's like, well, turn the camera off and get your feet off my desk. Oh, by the way, I'm working for Perry.
Yeah. Turns out I'm working for Perry. Anyway, that kind of brings us to the end of the movie and the end of the show. I am so happy we did this movie.
We finally got to talk about it.
We finally got to talk about it. I finally rewatched it. It was such a good time.
It's so fun.
I had so many moments where I was laughing out loud. And I kind of disturbed my wife because she was working on some stuff for her degree. I couldn't help myself. There were so many inside baseball jokes, so many like jokes that I found hilarious. I mean, not everybody would find them hilarious, I know, but I found them completely hilarious, maybe because I love movies so much. And it's so double entendre, play on words, foreshadowing stuff that is going to happen, but doing it in a way where it doesn't really tell you what is going to happen. And when it happens, you're like, but they just said that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, and it's so tongue in cheek where it mocks itself. It's fantastic.
And if you've just listened to this episode and haven't watched the movie, we really did not do it justice. It's the delivery that sells a lot of these lines, both from Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. It's so fantastic.
And even Monaghan has some great fucking one-liners too in the in between, and there are some ancillary characters that have some good bits, like
even her friend that cock blocked him at the end has some really quippy lines.
Yeah,
it's just here and there. It's so it's just a fun ride. It really is a fun ride. Plus, it's a nice little murder mystery. If you're just into the murder mystery part of it, it's a fun little how they kind of constructed that whole story, that whole puzzle. And it is really sort of serious, but it's not serious in a way. I don't know how to describe it.
Until it becomes very serious.
Yeah.
And how they have their own in-world narrative that is essentially just a mirror of what is occurring to the stories that like they have their own in-universe setups and payoffs. Like it's fantastic. Like I Shane Black, I don't think he's written anything better than this. And the only thing I will say that's so great is that Robert Downey Jr. doesn't forget his friends, because, well, he got Shane Black the writing and directing gig for Iron Man 3 specifically because of this.
Well, Iron Man 3 isn't really good, but never mind.
Well, yeah, but still made a shitload of money and made him a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are done for this show. Next week is another fun one, really, that we kind of discuss, but not really discuss.
Because we were gonna do a whole month of this guy starring in movie starring this guy playing this guy in a role starring this guy. But this one didn't kind of fit.
the next movie on this whole January fun birthday thing is Smoking Aces with Ryan Reynolds. Kind of a movie that people forgot. Did it come right after Blade Trinity or one before Blade Trinity? I don't remember.
After Blade Trinity, and also this was in the height of Jeremy Piven being Ari Gold from Entourage.
Oh, that's right.
Because Jeremy Piven is also very, very good in this movie as like this completely coked out fucking mess.
Yeah. So go watch Smoking Aces. Is it 2007 or 8?
I think it's 8. I want
8,
say.
I think. So go watch Smoking Aces. You can probably catch it on Tubi by this point. Or Pluto or Roku, one of those freer stuff. And come watch us next week. Oh, yeah. We are going to move all of you straight into the discussion on Hudson Hawk on Pop Culture Minefield. And remember, guys, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. We'll see you next week. You're still here? It's over.